This week's headlines on the Coastal News. Irene gets her diagnosis. Bree ends her relationship with Remy. Tane and Jo attempt a first date. And Cohen falls ill.
You know what? I reckon we should just go. Bree can call me.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
Okay.
Irene, hi. Sorry about the wait.
Oh, that's all right, love. You don't have to apologise. So, have we got the results back yet?
Yes, I'd like to talk you through them.
Okay, then we'll go.
No. No, please, just stay. Please stay.
Okay.
Should we take a seat? Sure. So, the blood work and the scans all came back clear. There's no infection or bleeds.
Okay.
The lumbar puncture, however, was a bit of a different story.
What does that mean?
I do need to stress this is a preliminary result. I'll refer you to a neurologist and they will do more tests.
Love, please, for God's sake, just spit it out.
It indicated a potential diagnosis of Alzheimer's disease.
We are Si and Sophie. This is Coastal News, a home and away podcast, your weekly episode companion podcast for your favourite Aussie soap.
I'm 15 deep. How deep are you?
Oh, on the comp. I've only done 5 entries or whatever it is.
Well, it was another 5 gets you 10.
Yeah.
I was like,
I know.
go on then.
I didn't do it. I might do by the time it ends. I think we've still got a bit of time left. Is it September?
Yeah. Well, this is the trick. Spread your entries out.
Yeah.
For some reason, in my mind, that works. You might win. But
Well,
then,
I did it on day 1, and then I was like, now back off.
well, I did it when I got back here, didn't I?
Oh,
But
yeah.
so I'm 15 in. I'm going to give it a couple of weeks. and
Bloody
just
heck.
10 around. Well, that's Australia for 25 quid if I win.
I know, but if you don't, that could have been something else.
Well, I'd have spent 25 quid on something at some point that I don't need.
That's true. Yeah. Yeah.
Plus standard network rate. Ask Bill pays Piston before you do. How are you? Are you okay?
I'm all right. How are you doing?
Not too bad. You made it. To Friday.
I did.
So
I don't know
a
how.
bit touch and go midweek there, weren't you?
I don't know how, but yeah, I'm here,
Yeah.
surviving.
Yeah. One quick visit to the Northern District's marvellous medicine. She's right as rain for pod.
Yes, there we go.
You ever had a blood test for tonsillitis?
Never, doll. And do you know how many times I've had tonsillitis? Hundreds. It actually got to the point where I used to get tonsillitis as a kid all the time. I was a very sickly child. And then it got to the point where they were like talking about taking them out, and then magically my tonsils must have heard that and gone, oh dear, we don't want that. And then I ended up not having to have them taken out. I can't remember why, but it got to the point where we go to the GP and my mum would be like, oh, I think she's got tonsillitis, and the GP wouldn't even barely look at me, just be like, right, here's the prescription. I used to get these little red pills for it. I don't know what they were, but they were like bright red.
Well, these days they're a bit funny about giving
Are they?
antibiotics out, aren't they? Yeah, because they started getting immune to things.
Yeah.
So I'll becoming immune. Or things are becoming immune from them. Oh my God, it's been a long week.
I know. I know what you mean.
Yeah.
But no, never went to hospital. Never had a blood test. Never got me white blood cells counted. Never got me inflammation markers checked.
Imagine rushing to A&E with a fever. They'd be like, "What? What?"
You'd get laughed out. I went to A&E with pancreatitis. I was bright yellow, and they just stuck me in a corner for about 6 hours.
Have you been to the walk-in?
They were like, by the time I got seen by a doctor, I was in agony as well, and they were like, "Are you normally yellow?" I was like, "No, I'm not off The Simpsons." I'm not normally yellow.
Is this your usual complexion, Dal?
Have you usually got yellow eyes? I was like, no, I've not usually got yellow eyes. No. You wankers.
Oh God.
They couldn't care less here. They couldn't. Honestly. Could have been Z and
We
A&E.
adore our NHS. We would even bang a pan at 8 p.m. for them. We adore them.
Oh yeah. Oh dearie me.
Oh, good lord. But yeah, your fever would be over by the time you got seen.
Oh
If
god,
you
yeah.
sat in A&E with a fever, yeah.
You
It was
would.
good laugh. It was a good laugh. The medicine is amazing. Down under. We must take this as our reference. How's home and away been for you this week, Sophie?
Yeah, it's been all right. I think there's a few storylines that could do with a bit of a push along.
Yeah, you were saying that before, weren't you, when we were chit-chatting?
Yeah, I just feel like we haven't really got much further in a week than than last week. Really, we're still talking about the same kind of things. I mean, the Remy Bree stuff, it's moved a bit, but not really. The Joe and Tane stuff started and stopped, just as quickly. So it's just a bit like,
God.
well, yeah, it's a bit like I can't actually tell you what's changed really, apart from Mr. Stewart's back. Yay! Like I don't feel like we've kicked enough of the stories on.
Yeah, we need a
on
bit of action, don't we? We're sort of
Yeah.
treading water. We keep having a couple of these weeks, and regular listeners will know I've complained a bit about it. Last week, things seemed to pick up pace again.
Yeah.
But I get what you're saying. This week, we feel like we've slowed down a bit again, and I'm wondering, I wonder what that is, because I mean, I guess Irene's diagnosis will come on to that. Irene's that's probably the biggest thing that's happened this week, in that Irene has sort of gone and got help.
Yeah.
Or gone and sought for, started looking for answers. It'll be interesting to see where we go next week with Irene, because although that is a big change, we didn't really get much of her on screen this week in terms of time.
I think that's the problem. That storyline did dramatically up the pace this week, and obviously she was, in and out of hospital in the same day, diagnosis, whatever. But I don't know. I feel like it's not been enough.
But then what? What's
Yeah.
all the stuff surrounding it?
Yeah, it's not really been enough. Like it's been like very flash, like very quick, and like there's something wrong with Irene. Oh, and this is it, and it's like okay, right, and then that's been it, and it's like okay, now what? Like I don't know. I just feel like it was missing something this week. I wasn't like going, oh, I can't wait for tomorrow. I was like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
I don't know. Can't describe it. But there we go.
Yeah. That's it. Well, let's unpack it all. We'll get to it in a moment.
Yeah.
Before we do, I must remind listeners that, guess what? You can vote in the prestigious Bogies. Two words don't really go together. Our annual Coast News Award. Vote for your favourite storyline, favourite character, you name it, best moment of the last 12 months on Home and Away. We do it every year. It's an exciting time. Voting is open. Link is in this episode description below. Make sure you get your votes in. Many of you have actually had a huge influx of votes when it opened. Huge influx last week when our episode went out. So keep them coming if you haven't done so already. You've got till the end of the month, we normally do, don't we? So a couple of weeks to go.
Yeah.
And then we'll do the whole tally up and get your award ceremony underway this autumn. Very exciting. Do not miss your say. It's another chance to have your say about something, you know?
Yeah.
And everybody loves the awards. We all look forward to them, don't we?
Yes.
And of course, if you want some extra stuff from us, we have a sister podcast called Coastal News Investigates. There's currently a few episodes available where we chat to an actor on the show. We chat to a mega fan of the show. We talk about the location tour that we went on recently. Make sure you catch up with that new episode coming very soon. Right, shall we talk about this week's Home and Away?
Go on then. Why not? We're here.
Remy doesn't have a reason, does he, this week as to why he did what he did. Doesn't have an explanation. He cheated on Bree. Doesn't know why. It's killing him as much as it's killing anybody else. And he says that to Eden, doesn't he? Eden and Sonny, actually. Thank God Eden seems to have calmed down a bit, actually, because I was a bit worried about where we were going to go with Eden and Remy's friendship for a while there, because that's quite a solid one, and I quite enjoy them actually being quite good friends. And so thankfully Eden's a bit more of a listener this week, thankfully. Bree thinks that Sonny knew the whole time, doesn't she, though? It's a bit awkward, and she's all, he's trying to tell her about these, it was the drugs that he was hiding from her, really. It wasn't the fact that he knew that she was cheating, but she's not here. She's not having a bar of it, is she?
No.
She's like, get out. And she's hurting. I get it. This is the fallout, isn't it? Next day, this Avalon's got a nerve.
Yes.
Rocking up at the house. I
Yeah.
mean, if I was in her shoes, I'd be like, I'm actually going to get shot.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
What was she thinking?
Well, I'm wondering whether the drugs are playing a part in this, in the kind of bravado that she has. Because
Do you reckon?
I don't know, because you wouldn't, if you were a normal, sane person with morals and you know what I mean, like you wouldn't do that. You wouldn't sleep with someone. I mean, the whole thing has been, from her point of view, has been really weird. Like, she wanted to get caught. She wanted the drama because, when someone was knocking on the door, they were in bed together, weren't they? They'd obviously slept together. They were in bed fast asleep. Someone's knocking on the door downstairs. She kind of stirs when she realizes it's Eden, because she hears the voice going, Remy, Remy, and she goes, oh, how many of your friends are going to turn up today? She flings herself out of bed and runs down them stairs. She wants to get caught in a dressing gown.
In her smalls, and he's chasing her, telling her not to open the door, isn't he? Because
she wanted that. She wanted that scenario. She wanted them to see them undressed and compromised. And I think it's the same with the turning up at the house. I think this girl just likes the drama. Like, she doesn't care who gets hurt.
And you think that's the drugs sort of numbing her from it all?
Well, it's the only explanation I've got, really, because a normal, rational person with empathy wouldn't do that to somebody, would they?
Now you say it actually as well, you're right, because it fits with this behaviour where she rocks up and she's like, why has he not turned up to finish the album?
Yeah.
And you're like, hello? As if he's going to. You've just blown his life up.
Yeah, and then she's asking Eden and Sonny, "Oh, can I ask you a favour, guys? I know you don't like me now, but my album is so good, and it's nearly finished. Like, it's all about her, and my album. And it's like she doesn't even. What they try and explain to her, don't they? Like, you've just blown his whole world up, and him and Bree are everything to each other, and you don't know what damage you've done. And she's just there going, yeah, but can you convince him to play guitar, please? Like, that's not normal behaviour, is it?
No. It's, okay, and the drugs would explain it away a bit. Do you think we've seen, I mean, they've told it rack off, haven't they? Do you think do you think that's it now? Do you think she's gone to have an album, and maybe it'll have to be a keyboard-led album?
Maybe it will. I don't know, honestly, because unless Bree and Remy talk, all I'm thinking is the more that she pushes Remy away, which she should do. I'm not saying she shouldn't, but the more he thinks that him and Bree are over, the more I think he's going to go running back to Avalon.
He's going to go back to her. Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like, if he realizes that bridge is absolutely burnt, he'll be like, oh, I might as well go back to Avalon and do the guitar because what I've got to lose. I don't know.
Yeah. You're right. She could be inadvertently pushing him that way.
Yeah, and I'm not saying that's her fault, and I'm not saying she should take him back to stop him from doing that. Like, I think she's right to walk away from him, but it gives him the kind of green light to say, well, what else have I got? If I've lost Bree, I might as well go and see Avalon,
That's true. What did you make of Bree's reaction to this? Because I was a bit frustrated with Bree. I was screaming at the TV, right? 7 a.m. Because obviously during this sort of her coming over begging him to finish the album, Bree turns up, doesn't she, and sees her there, and I'm thinking, why is Bree not scratching this woman's eyeballs out? Like, I just wanted to shake Bree. I thought, deck the bitch, like, give me something. And she just seemed, she felt a little bit sort of subdued in her response to me. She felt, even when she, Remy came over last week, didn't he, and confessed, she just sort of even her throwing him out was sort of calmer. And it wasn't, she didn't really react in a big way. And I wanted her to, and I felt a little bit dissatisfied from Bree's reaction. What was your reaction.
I think you're right. The problem is with Bree, and I think it's probably on purpose to show the difference between her and people like Eden. I think she's just too classy for Remy, and I think the way
Yeah.
that she kind of she's dealt with this has been very classy. I don't think she is the kind to pull someone's hair out in the street, as much as we'd like to see that, because we'd like to see them having a scrap and her go for Avalon and everything else. I just think she's a little too mature and a little too classy. She's been through too much in her life,
Yeah, I know what you're saying. I mean, you reminded me what she's capable of.
Yeah. She murdered somebody, but she did it in self-defense. I don't think she's got a violent streak in her, but she has been she's been victim to violence, hasn't she? So she's been victim to and never retaliated back until it got to the point where he was digging her grave and it was him or her at that point. But as far as we know, like she could have gone for Jacob before. She's a slim lady, but she's tall. You know what I mean? She's not a little tiny flower. So she could have fought back with Jacob, physically, but she never did. I don't think it's in her nature. And also, she's a doctor, isn't she? Her innate nature is to help people, heal people.
Yeah, not to hurt them. Yeah, it's quite the opposite. Yeah, I hear you. I was a bit frustrated that she didn't even seem to raise her voice.
I do think it was subdued, but I don't know whether she was in shock as well. I don't know. Maybe she just thought he would never do that to her. I mean, I didn't think he'd do it, I'll be honest. I thought he might get tempted. I thought Avalon might try and kiss him or something would happen. I didn't think he would go for it.
Did you not?
No. I thought he'd get tempted, but I didn't think he'd actually just jump into bed with her without second thought for Bree. I was a bit shocked.
Yeah, and it's all Kirby's fault.
Yeah.
All because of Kirby, Anyway, it does come out that the drugs, everything's out in the open. He gets a chance to speak to her, doesn't he, later on? It's out there. She knows about the drugs, she knows about this, she knows about that. And she says there's no way through this. It's over. And goes to work, breaks down in her office, but then wipes the tears and gets on with her life. And it seems to be, I mean, this is not before a bit of a snap at Levi and calling him a cheater and brandishing all men the same.
See, that was the reaction, but it was at the wrong person, wasn't it?
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, that's true. Actually, it was later on when she kept. That's it. It's the classy thing, is it, that you're talking about? She kept composure. She took herself quietly to her office, broke down, and then the anger came. It's like the phases of grief, isn't it? She then went on to the next phase and happened to be at work by that point, and Levi copped it. Yeah, you're right.
Because even her crying and quiet, she doesn't want anyone to see her. She's very dignified, isn't she? She's very she's very private. She always has been pretty private, I think. I don't think that's new for her.
Yeah.
So
fair enough. You've taught me around with that.
She doesn't want people to see her broken. I think she sees it as a weakness, actually.
But yeah, quite possibly. She's quite a proud woman.
Yeah.
And this must be humiliating.
Yes. Oh God.
So,
yes. Yeah.
She doesn't want to make it even. Yeah.
No. Yeah.
I do wonder though. Do you know what I think we've missed with amongst all this is Eden popping to Bree and being like, "Look, are you okay?" Sonny's done it, hasn't he? But I think it needs Eden, because Eden's obviously later in the week. She's the one over at Remy's, talking to Remy, trying to make him see sense. Can't believe you've done this. And Bree's over at the apartment. She's sort of got Sonny flicking between the two. But I think if Eden just went round and was like, "Mate, this is so shit," but I think Eden might be the one that could get Bree to perhaps work on it. He says, doesn't he? Don't forget, forgive. He says it himself, but I think if Eden had have said that to her, maybe there could have been some inkling. But I'm feeling like these are dead in the water now.
Yeah, and I don't know. I think that would be weird for Eden, given her status on Cheaters.
Well, that's true, but she's done a big 360 here. She's shown some growth,
I think she's just learning from Sonny how to be a better friend, basically.
Well, probably.
Because he's been pretty good, hasn't he? Like, he'll say to Remy, "You're an idiot and you shouldn't have done it," but in a in the way that you can be honest with a friend and say they're an idiot, but then also support him and say, look, get dressed, have a shower, get something to eat, have a drink, take care of yourself.
Yeah.
Yes, you're an idiot, but you need to still function. You still need to get dressed and have a shower and, do normal stuff. And I think that's what Sunny's really good at. Eden's not good at that. Eden's just like scream in your face, call you an idiot, and then blank you for 10 years. She doesn't. She's not a very good friend in that respect.
Yeah, you're right.
So I think she's learning how to be a better mate from Sunny, possibly. I don't know.
And Sonny's just fabulous. Can't do no wrong, can he?
I know. Everybody loves him. The whole social media is behind him. So yeah, people are saying he's the best thing since Dana. I saw online this week.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, best character.
And he's got the perfect name for it. Sonny. He's bringing a ray of sunshine.
Exactly.
Right, Dana's looking to organise a girls' night this week. Little Manny, little Petty. Asks Irene to babysit. She's not invited.
She's not going to girls' night. Oh, God.
And she's like, nah. Last time I babysat, I forgot all about it. She's still a blooming mess, isn't she, with all this? She's really spooked as we come into this week. She's late for work. She's getting all her shifts mixed up.
I'm going to try that at work.
I know.
Am I late? Am I late? What? Yeah, just 2 hours. Really?
I know. I'm just going to be like, oh, it's the Alzheimer's doll. Whenever I've not done some at work. You could do worse, she says to Dana and Sunny when she sees them chatting at the coffee cart and says, you two would make a great couple. And Dana's like, she knows we're a couple?
Yeah.
And then Dana does a bit of investigative work, goes to the diner. She's like, Leah, Irene's forgot about who my boyfriend is. And then, of course, next time she tries to test Irene, doesn't she, in front of Leah? And, of course, Irene's remembered at that point, like, you klutz. So she's struggling to get other people. Dana's now clocked what's going on. And she's struggling to get others to see. John is being the best friend he is, and he's sort of keeping his cards to his chest. And I think we're all at that stage at this point, aren't we, as viewers, going, there's only a matter of the lid is bubbling now. Like, you're not going to keep this lid on this. And the more people start to get suspicious, the more we're going to upset Irene because she's trying to move on and bury her head in the sand at this point. Denial, isn't it?
Yeah.
She's trying to say, I'm cracking on, I'm going to work, I'm doing this, I'm doing that. But I think we're reaching the tipping point, aren't we, when we come to this point. Now, there's this moment where Leah and Justin, they want to go away. They book a hotel. And Irene's like, yeah, I'll cover your shift. However, John, in the meantime, convinces her, look, this is getting worse. You really need to go to the doctors. I'm going to take you. So she phones Bree, doesn't she, for an appointment. Gets in for an appointment, so has to backtrack on her covering the diner plan. And it looks like John convinces her to sort of open up to her other friends. But when it comes to the crunch of it, she backs out and makes up some story about Finn being in an emergency. Is there an element of, when it comes to something like this, an element of not wanting to burden your loved ones with it? Yeah. Is it like an embarrassment thing? Like, is that something? It's quite an interesting thing to explore, really, isn't it? You know what I mean?
I think it's a bit of everything, isn't it? Really, I think Irene's never want to burden anybody. I mean, even with the drinking stuff, you know what I mean? She kept that quiet, kept that to herself. And then when it all came out, she was worried that she was a burden for John and everything else. So I think that's in her mind. I think also she's absolutely terrified. She's getting her own head round it. And the minute she tells Leah and Marilyn and everybody else, they're going to be like all over her, helicoptering around her. And then that's other people's emotions that she's having to deal with, as well as her own. She doesn't even know how she feels about it yet.
That's true. Well, she doesn't know what it is at this point, does she?
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, I get that. Oh God, I hurt. John is absolutely killing me.
I know.
Do you know what? Irene isn't. I'm upset and I'm sad I think I'm working through a process here, my side, where I'm deciding how I feel about it,
Yeah.
and it's taken me a while. I'm struggling to keep up with the storyline. It's so fast.
Yes.
But the it's John that's getting me. And this week there was I had a lump in my throat. You know when she says to him that he's trying to convince her, isn't he, that it's time to get some help, go and see a doctor. I'll be with you. You know, it's just Shane is beautiful at this stuff. Even we know him as the klutz, and that is why it's more impactful.
Yeah.
Because he's the joke piece, he's the comedic character of the ensemble, and to see him absolutely in tatters at that moment where she lies about what she's doing, and he sees himself out the diner and just finds a tree and breaks down. I was gone, Sophie, and at this point we didn't even know what was going on.
No.
Are you feeling strong emotively about it at the moment as me, or where are you at sort of with your emotions and processing this?
I think I'm struggling with the pace of it still. I think I'm struggling with how fast it is. I'm struggling with how quick we went from she's forgotten a dinner to she's completely forgotten she's babysitting to lumbar puncture. That's just been rapid. The whole turnaround's been rapid. But then when she
By
was
the way, who knew you could get a lump puncture for?
I know.
Alzheimer's?
Well, I'm actually literally learning stuff on this show as well, and had no idea about that. But I think it was the scene, when she was basically told by Bree, it's flagged up. There's a chance it could be Alzheimer's from the lumbar puncture, and she was sat in the hospital waiting room, and John said something like, "Oh, I've got all your forms and your paperwork. Let's go home. Let's get you home." And she just broke down, and like he was holding her, and she said, "John, I'm so scared." And then I could tell by his face he was thinking, "Yeah, me too." But he was comforting her and saying, "You'll be all right. It'll be all right. I'm here. I'm there for you. We'll get through this."
Yeah.
That was when I got a lump in my throat, and I was like, "Okay, this is real now." And it was watching John that broke me, actually, rather than Irene.
Yeah, I'm feeling the same, and I wonder what that is. Have we detached ourselves a bit from?
Is it that we can't really put ourselves in Irene's shoes, but we could possibly put ourselves in John's?
Maybe.
I don't know.
I feel like it being, because we know their relationship's so close as well. I feel like throughout this storyline, he is the one that's going to send me west.
Yes.
I'm looking ahead as well. We were talking online, they've announced air dates and things for her departure in Oz.
It's next week, isn't it?
Yeah. So now there's like a number on how many weeks we've got.
Yeah.
And it's not a lot. And I'm like, how am I going to get there in myself?
It's about
this sounds stupid because it's
5 weeks away.
I know, and this sounds. I'm saying this now, and I'm sounding so stupid because this is a fictional character I'm talking about.
She is, but she's been on our screens every day for the best part of 30 years. And it is weird that we're going to turn on the screen and she's not going to be there. And it's not that she's just nipped off to see Finn for a weekend like she does normally. She's going to be gone. It's going to be really weird.
Yeah.
I think that the dynamic of the show is going to be weird. Like, you notice when people like her are missing, especially in the diner, if it's just like Leah in the diner and you're like, where's Irene? Or if it's just Marilyn, where's Irene? And then obviously the beach house is so iconic. Imagining that being on screen and Irene never being in it again, it's just really weird.
It's just crazy, isn't it? Doesn't even bear thinking about, to be honest.
Even this week, when Harper was having that big sort of row with Tani, which I'm sure we'll get onto, she actually said the words, "You need to pick Archie up from Irene's house." She lives there. Harper lives there.
not pick her up from mine or anything.
Yeah, pick her up from my house. Pick her up from Dana. Like she's at home with Dana.
Yeah.
Not my house, not home. Irene's house. It is Irene's house. It's going to be super weird that she's not there.
Oh,
So,
don't.
yeah.
And I'm really worried now because it's Alzheimer's, isn't it? Like Bree sort of played it down, like I don't want to, this is just an indication.
Yeah.
Irene says, John, I know it, and I'm scared, and I know, I just know, I can feel it. Those scenes you're talking about that really get you. Look, it's like. I'm losing my train of thought because I'm getting so like, about it. You know what I mean? What was I saying, Sophie?
I don't know.
Something about Irene.
Something about Irene.
She's in the hospital. They're talking about she's scared. It's definitely. Even though Bree is indicating.
Yeah.
That is clearly where the story, how fast the story's going. That is obviously what it is.
It's got to be, hasn't it now? Because we haven't got long and also they've been sort of looking online. Like John was like, "Oh, I've tried not to look online, but you can't help it." And it could be the alcohol because there's alcohol related Alzheimer's and. That kind of fits with the diagnosis because you're an alcoholic and blah. And Irene was like, yeah, I thought the same. And, she was doing that whole shoulda, woulda, coulda thing. Maybe if I'd looked after myself, maybe if I'd not been an alcoholic, maybe if I'd done this, that, I knew that. And we all do that when we get ill. We all go, oh, maybe I could have not eaten so much cake or maybe I could have eaten more salads or whatever. But the truth is, like, you just get ill. Sometimes you just get ill and it's nothing to do with...
And it's just, the way the cookie crumbled, and there's nothing you could have done about it. That's what's tragic about it, isn't it?
Yes.
Something like this as well. I am worried now because Alzheimer's to me equals death.
Yes, there is a very short prognosis, isn't there? After, I think. Because it's your brain. Your brain is essentially declining. And
and there's nothing they can do about it. Yeah. It cannot be stopped entirely. It cannot be stopped.
No.
Like this is it. Like this is you now, and you only know what's going to happen to you. It's going to get this way or that way, or there is no pill. There's no red pill at the doctor's for your tonsils.
No. No.
It's it's a death sentence.
And that's the thing. She knows it is, and she's compass mentis enough to realise that it's a death sentence. But she also knows there's gonna be a day when she doesn't know what's going on anymore, and she's not gonna have control of her life anymore. You know what I mean? That's the scary part, is that that you're gonna lose your mind. And that's terrifying.
Yeah. I've been sort of comparing it to, there's another soap, EastEnders, you've heard of it, that has a similar story, like, because they're in their 40th year and they brought back, what's it called? Nigel.
Yeah.
And he's got it, hasn't he?
There's someone on Coronation Street with it as well at the moment.
Oh, is there?
Yeah.
Well, I was comparing it to, I've seen the Nigel stuff, so I was comparing it to that, thinking it's interesting how different they've decided to do it. Because Nigel has they've done like a slow thing with him, haven't they? Throughout a big arc.
Yeah.
And it's been like it started the story with him knowing.
Yeah.
And then making decisions based on him knowing. And what Home and Away have done is the sort of before knowing piece, haven't they? They've done the confusion, the scared, the the unknown, the sort of frightfulness of losing your mind and not knowing what's going on, and the denial. They've done that part of it which we hadn't seen for Nigel on EastEnders, and I thought it was an interesting contrast to mention.
Yeah. Whereas the Coronation Street storyline is slower than Irene's, but kind of the same. So the character realizes there's something wrong with her, but doesn't want to tell anybody, doesn't want to tell her boyfriend or her family, keeps it quiet until it gets to the point where people start to notice, and then they're like, "You're not right." It's the same kind of thing as Irene.
Right, but in a slower pace.
Oh, much slower, yeah.
Oh God, it's catching that everyone's doing one. Everyone's got one of these at the minute.
It must be
Blimey.
the trendy thing at the
All
moment.
the soaps.
Yeah.
So yeah, where we're up to this? I mean, do you think Justin's clocked this?
I don't know. Yeah, because he's not very smart, is Justin. But did he buy that cock and bull story about the Navy friend?
I don't know. I couldn't work it out.
I don't know
He definitely knew something was up because he followed him.
Yes, he did. Yeah.
He seemed to buy it on face value.
You would though, wouldn't you? Because John was like, "Oh no, it's nothing to do with Irene. I've just got some bad news, and she's taken it on board." And I think for Justin, that's probably enough. If Justin knew about the stuff that Dana was talking to Leah about,
then he might question more.
But I don't know whether he was really listening, because she did mention, like, she was saying that to Leah, and Justin was in the background for that conversation. And Leah said, "Oh, you know what Irene's like? She's a bit sarcastic. She makes jokes." And then she said, "Oh, sometimes people don't understand your jokes because they're not funny." And she goes, "Justin knows all about that." And he was in the background going, "What? What do I know about?"
Yeah.
So I don't know how much he clocked of that conversation about the fact that Irene forgot that, Dana and Sonny were a thing. If you start to put two and two together, I think you'd get there, but I don't know whether Justin
can. It'll be interesting because Dana's like a dog with a bone.
Yes.
Whether she, in the coming episodes, revisits her conversations with John.
Well, she saw Irene in hospital, didn't she? So she knows.
Yeah.
Something.
So, I'm looking forward to seeing her going back to John and being like, "What's going on?" Or whether Irene will sit her down. I don't know.
Yeah.
Don't know. Oh dear. Deep breath and we'll move on. Lacey's at work noticing emails from the bank. Insufficient funds. And Abs is insisting on helping out Lacey because, Marley is in Hinkydinkyville. He's apparently left the business with a finite amount of funds and expects her to be able to keep it afloat without any interference himself. They're butting heads, aren't they, Lacey and Abs? I forgot her name. She doesn't want to look into it. And I was thinking, God, has she had her hands in the till? Like, what's going on here? Why is she so defensive about this? Is it just that she started off the job on the wrong foot? She's overspent on suppliers, on wax, and she feels responsible. Ultimately, why on earth has she got access to banking?
Well, yes.
Worked there a week.
And why is Marley not? He's only in Hinkydinkyville. He's not on the moon.
I know.
It's all online, doll.
What is this all about? And is it? I saw a comment online about is it a chance to get the board shop closed down and something else in its place? What is this all about? Or is it just to make friction between Abby and Lacey? Don't get it.
I don't get it. And I'll read you some comments on Your Say in the Bay later, because loads of people did not understand what the hell this storyline was talking about. The thing that I took away from it after a few days of what on earth, why are we doing this, was what we talked about a few weeks ago. When they stopped doing the surf lessons, you and I had a conversation and we said, isn't that the income for the board shop? Doesn't most of the income come from the surf lessons? And now they've decided they're not going to do them anymore. So we raised this a couple of weeks ago when, because this all kicked off because Marley decided to work from home, not open the board shop, but still pay rent. And we were like, how on earth can this board shop carry on with no surf lessons? He's still paying rent. He's not there to sell anything because at this point, Lacey wasn't working there and Abs was working at Salt. There was nobody else working at the board shop. So there was nobody there doing Lacey's job, selling I don't know, towels and wax and sun cream or whatever it is that she's selling. So there was absolutely no income coming in apart from him shaping the boards, which we knew wasn't the main source of income. And also, the surf lessons have got hardly any overhead. All you've got to have is a surf instructor, because it's all just people on their own boards on the beach,
Yeah.
It's
You're literally just paying a wage and that's it.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
really should be really low
Pure
overhead.
profit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we also talked about the fact that it's madness that there's a whole beach full of surfers, and you could just walk down there and say, "You're a surfer. Do you want to get paid to teach surf lessons?" So you could surf all day long and get paid for it. Like, it should be a surfer's dream job, that.
Yeah.
So it made no sense. So I think the whole thing is to highlight the fact that they need somebody to run the surf lessons, and it looks like poor bloody Theo's going to end up doing it. And like you say, to integrate Lacey and into Abby's world.
Yeah. The two females, the same age.
Yes.
Bond over
Yes.
coming over an obstacle.
Yes.
But it's still perplexing how Marley's decided to run his business into the ground and then bugger off.
He's hardly Richard Branson, though, is he? Let's face it.
No, but that was like his little pride and joy, wasn't it? His little freedom from the family.
No, it's just
And,
bizarre.
like,
He's took it. He's got that shop for free off Ben, and he's ploughed it into the soil.
I know. And then disappeared for dust.
Yeah.
For no reason. Like, there's no mental response to anything. Like, nothing's happened in his life that would make him neglect his responsibilities. Like, he's just decided to do it one day. It's a bit odd, isn't it? Even by my standards. Speaking of odd, should we talk about Jo?
Go on then.
That glass of OJ over the balcony, what the hell?
I don't know.
What the hell?
I'm glad it's not wine. I'm glad she wasn't wasting the wine, but still.
I know.
Jesus.
Yeah. But it wasn't OJ all over the back of Tane's back. It was water. Studied it. And quickly she learns that Harper and he aren't attached, are they? Just the small matter of a baby. So she waits for boot camp to finish, like a little old stalker. Tane's used to it. And she's like, "I'm going for a drink at Salt. Come and join me if you want." Well, he does, doesn't he? Because he's a warm-blooded man. And turns out while all this has gone on, Harper's been trying to contact him because her and Sarge have met up this week. And it's all ends are dead, aren't they, when it comes to Cohen's family, and they need to work out what they're going to do with him. She needs to frantically get up to Summer Bay House to see him. She's trying to find a sitter. She's having babysitting issues, Sophie, because Irene's already told her to look after her own flipping kid. I'm not capable. And she can't get hold of baby daddy, can she? Because he's going on a date with Jo. And when she finally hunts him down, she's quite nasty. She turns up and and it's because last week she said to him, "We're going to live separate lives." When he tries to do it, she turns up and she says this really awful thing to him, she's fuming at, she storms in, "This is cute. You should pay more attention to your responsibilities, sat here dating some random." This random, by the way, who she's met, knows who she is, and I think she's a little hurt because obviously Jo was sort of scoping out the situation, wasn't she?
Yeah.
But also she's hurt because she wants to be that one having that coffee with him.
Yeah.
She was spiteful this week, Harper, and I imagine didn't make a fan of Sophie.
No. No, I mean, oh dear, this woman, she just gets worse. If he'd been sat there with Cash or David or anyone else, or even Bree or whoever, like somebody that wasn't a threat to her, she wouldn't have walked up to him in a mood like that. She'd have gone over and said, "Oh, sorry to bother you. Are you free? Because I know I haven't asked you to babysit, but Dana's got Archie and I could really use somebody to, she's got to go to work. Could you take him tonight or today or whatever time of day it was that he was having that beer? I've got no idea." It looked like a breakfast beer. It was weird because she was like getting ready for work and he was in Salt having a beer. I was like, what time of day is this meant to be? I don't get it. Really weird. But so I don't think she would have reacted the same way. But because she's seen him sat there with a woman, she's just gone full jealous mode, hasn't she? Basically,
Yeah.
which I don't blame her for. I get it. Like she's still got for whatever reason, she's still got feelings
And
for this
jealousy
bloke.
is a valid emotion. It's one of the emotions we all feel. We've all,
Exactly.
yeah.
I think she needs to get to the point where, yes, she can be jealous. Yes, she can be annoyed. Yes, she can be pissed off or whatever. But she needs to start acting more civil.
Yeah. Yeah.
She can't go around shouting at people like that. It's not on.
Do you know what I think's coming here? And you're not going to like it.
Go on.
I think we're going to have a custody battle.
Well, yeah, I think it's going to be if he just decides to carry on seeing this Joe, she's going to be like, that woman can't be near Archie. You can't see her on the same day. I mean, she kind of alluded to that later on, didn't she? Where she was like, my baby's not going to be dating. Like,
No.
which was, you're not going to hang around with some woman with my baby there.
Yeah, she did. Yeah. And that does actually make Tane cool things off with Joe. He goes back and apologises, doesn't he, about their first date and says, I just need to be a dad right now.
Yeah. I don't think that
so
will last, though.
It does work. No, because that's not him having his own life.
No.
That's not what she promised him. That's not what was agreed.
No.
So she's saying one thing and doing another at this stage,
Yeah.
and she's coming across as really, really painful.
Yes.
And I've tried to be fair to her throughout all this. She grew on me through the pregnancy. I tried to give her a fair shot. Some things you cannot defend.
No.
If you want to, if you're not happy with it, don't be happy with it. I might not agree with you.
Yeah.
But at least you've owned your feelings.
Yeah.
Don't try and present yourself one way, but actually it's something else.
But
because
that's
that's not fair on Tane.
That's what she's done the whole time. Like getting married, he said to her like, "Oh, I can't love you." Like he was pretty honest with her. I'm not in love with you. I can't love you. I can't force myself to love you. And she was like, okay, yeah, let's get married anyway. It's fine. And then on the day, she was like, no, I want the full package. So she pretended she was okay with it. And then, the last minute said she wasn't.
They made Tane
trip
Japan, yeah.
was the same. He was like, I can come on holiday with you, but just as friends, just as parents of Archie. And she was like, yeah, of course. And on the day that they were supposed to go, again, she pulls the rug out from under him and says, actually, I want the full package. I want you. Blah, 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 blah. He comes back. She has a go at him. I wanted you. I guess I'm going to have to get over it. Let's have our separate lives. Let's try and work this out. And then she pulls all that away again. The minute she sees him with someone else moving on, she's like, oh, actually, I still want you and I'm jealous and blah, blah, blah. This is what she does. She pretends. But I don't mind her pretending because that's what you do, don't you? You just kind of like, there's nothing she can say is going to change his mind. He doesn't want her. He went to a different country without her. That should have been a huge symbol to her that he doesn't want her. What she needs to do now is she can be jealous, she can be annoyed, she can be angry, but she's got to stop taking it out on him now because it's not going to do anything. And they've got a kid and she's got to be civil with him. He's going to be in her life as long as the baby's in their lives,
Well, at least 18 years.
Exactly.
Yeah.
She needs to go to Dana or to a friend and say, I'm really pissed off at Tane because he's on a date with somebody and I'm not over him yet and he's moving on. And like they're going to go, like Dana would say, right, let's have a girls' night. Let's forget about him. Let's go. But she doesn't do that to Tane. To Tane, she's just got to say the only reason they should be talking is to arrange for one of them to look after the baby while the other one's doing something else.
Childcare. Yeah, and what's best for the baby and decisions about Archie. Yeah.
But she's still treating him like a boyfriend. She's still expecting him to jump when she says how high. It's not her boyfriend. She literally said that this week to Joe. He's not my boyfriend. Yes, but why do you treat him like he should?
Like you can control. Yeah.
She's expecting boyfriend behavior from him, and he's not her boyfriend. Do you see what I mean?
Yeah. Oh, yeah, definitely. And she's bang out of order.
Yes.
She's bang out of order. I'm going to assume she's not picked up many fans online this week. Let me tell you. Oh God! Luckily, she's a bit better when she's at helping. She does eventually get him to babysit, and she gets to Cohen, doesn't she? And she starts talking to him about, he's recently learned that his mum doesn't want him, and oh bless him, I am loving this storyline. She's late because of all this baby daddy drama, and Sarge David's made a bit of a pig's ear of it all, hasn't he, when he's been there on his own, so he scoots out the way.
Yeah.
And she's like, yeah, she did mention it, but the reason they've gone there is to try and probe him about his father, because that's pops up the last chance saloon of finding out who his father is, isn't it?
Yeah.
We don't really get any further, because conversation doesn't really go that way with Cohen, so that's something else that we're going to have to kick the can into next week at least. Because then Cohen seems to he's really upset, isn't he? He's really sad. He's cocooning in his room. He's not eating anything, and then he seems to come down with this horrible fever. And then it all becomes about Cohen's illness then, really. And we sort of end up off on this tangent and following a different path rather than learning things about his family, which, every time I feel like I'm getting somewhere with something I want to know, something gets in the bloody way, driving me insane. So we end up at the hospital, and he's got tonsillitis. Mr. Stewart slinks back in to town. And they meet, which is absolutely glorious, because he's Mr. Stewart. Do you know when he sort of sends her home? Because Rue's been there all night, and he says, sends her home. And he says, I'll look after the kid. And I'm thinking, oh, he's going to wake up, and I was staring at him. I mean, some of us would love that.
I mean, I would love it, but he's a child, and he wakes up and there's a weird man sat next to him. I didn't think this was Rue. I actually tweeted about this because I was like, Rue is so bad. Like, Rue's trying to do the best she can, but she's just so bad at this. So she's left him on his own in the hospital. Yes, to her, she's not left him on his own because her dad's there, and we all know that Mr. Stewart is great, and he's going to be capable of looking after him. But put yourself in Cohen's shoes. The one person that he's known for the last 2 weeks, who's been there through everything and looked after him, has disappeared from the hospital, and he wakes up and there's some random old bloke sat there.
I know.
I just was like, are you joking?
Luckily, no one's taught him about stranger danger, and he makes a friend with him.
I know.
Thank God.
Bless him. Oh,
I'd have been right on that nurse button.
I know, I would have been like,
who's this weird old man?
Pedophile. Pedophile.
Talking about fish. But it is, oh God, it is lovely scenes, isn't it?
Yes, it is, thankfully. Thankfully.
I know.
Could have gone two different ways here, but there we go.
We were saying that wouldn't it be cute if they went on a little fishing trip, and he's promised him his fishing trip, isn't he?
Where's my fishing trip? Where's my bloody fishing trip?
I've told you, you've got to text home to 65555.
He's not going to be in Ningaloo Park or whatever it's called. Damn it. I'm so annoyed. I've waited 30 years to go on a fishing trip. And Cohen gets it after 5 seconds.
He doesn't know how lucky he is.
I know.
Been on this planet 5 minutes, that boy.
I know.
And he gets fast-tracked to a fishing trip with Alf Stewart.
So annoyed.
Yeah. So Rue, I think Alf is sort of doing a bit of a sussing him out mission, isn't he? Especially after Eliza. I felt like Alf sending her away was his chance to find out if he had another Eliza on his hands.
Oh, yeah.
Or am I reading too much into it?
He wanted to see the kid on his own without Rue speaking for him, didn't he?
Yes. I'm glad it's not just me that thought that.
No.
And then he quickly, smiling away, isn't he, quickly realises worlds apart.
Yeah.
And when Rue comes back, and she says that actually, they're so different, and we've been comparing him to Eliza for a couple of weeks now, and it's nice to hear that Rue is as well. Actually,
she remembers. She remembers.
And then she drops that adoption bombshell.
That was a bombshell. Yes. I mean, I'm not being funny. I kind of thought that's where we would go, but not this fast.
Yeah, it's not a total surprise. Yeah.
No.
But is it because Rue is privy to the fact that he has no option, and within a matter of days, he's probably going into the system at this point.
Yes.
You know,
Yeah.
is it like he's such a lovely boy, I can give him a better life than him going into, you know, the fostering system, and you know, God knows what then. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And she's
But-
grown attached, hasn't she?
But then is that the end of her fostering story? You know, if she adopts
Mm.
Cohen, does she never adopt another kid? Was it only about finding that one kid that was perfect?
Well,
Because she's a emergency foster carer, so they were always going to be temporary.
yeah.
What was the plan? I don't really get it.
Well, it's that. I suppose it's that age-old thing, isn't it, about getting attached to him? I suppose as a foster parent, you have to have an element of disarmament, really,
Yes. Yeah.
of your emotions, because you're there to provide a transactional, you know, need for shelter and food. You know, you're not really there for the rest of it, are you? Really, you're there for, you know, providing, like, especially in Rue's case, she's emergencies. You know, they get dropped on her.
Yes.
I'm not saying you wouldn't care, because we're all human, but she's not really there to be falling in love with him and wanting to adopt him. Has she made another boob? Add it to the list. You know, it's hard to tell at this stage, isn't it?
I think what annoyed me about this, I'm not saying she shouldn't adopt him or anything like that. I'm just saying it's too fast. And also the thing that she said to Mr. Stewart was, I'm going to talk to the department about adoption. And I thought, surely the first person you should ask to sound out about this is Cohen. What if he doesn't want to be adopted by her? And also, what if, I mean, this was the day that Harper was planning on going to Queen Bian to go and see if she
Queen
could find,
Summer.
she could go and find his, you know, someone that knew his nana, work out if there's anything else. Is there any other family out there? Where's the dad?
She's knocking on doors, she said, didn't she?
Yeah, that day.
So
what if she comes back and she says, "Oh, I found dad," or "I found uncle or auntie," or you know what I mean? Like,
I think it's safe to say that's going to happen, isn't it?
yeah.
Now, especially now that Rue's talking about adopting him, you're right.
It's too fast.
It's still very much a live operation finding his family.
Yes.
You know, he hasn't although it's looking bleak, all avenues have not been exhausted yet. You know, Harper, to her credit, has agreed to drive 3 hours, as you've kindly told me, and knock on doors.
Yeah.
Like, what social worker would do that? I don't know one.
No, exactly.
What person even? You know, that's how desperate they are to find family for this poor child. I mean, I'm not being funny. He's okay. He's got a bit of tonsillitis. Your dad's back. Why has she not said, Harper, I'm coming with you, or I'm going to join you. I'm going to help. I'm going to do my damn hardest to find this boy's family again. Instead, she's thinking of him taking him in. I don't know if there's a disconnect there. It's not right.
Yeah, no, I think you're right. There's no danger with him at the moment. Like, it's not like the department are saying, "Oh, we're going to take him away next week and put him with a permanent family."
Time's up. Yeah.
She's jumped the gun just because she's bonded with him, which is, I don't know. I'm feeling a bit uncomfortable with the pace of it is just a bit, and the fact that she doesn't really know him. She doesn't know how he feels. She doesn't know whether
he's not really one for talking, is he?
No. Like, how she doesn't even know if he wants to be adopted by her, or if he's even thought about it, or if he's hoping that dad or auntie or uncle or someone is going to come out the woodwork, or I don't know. I don't know. I just feel like she's decided.
And then she's going to have her heart ripped out when a guardian rocks up who's got more rights.
Exactly, yeah. Someone out there is going to have more right to adopt him than she is.
And he's going to love them, and he's going to know them, and
Yeah.
he's going to feel the link to his mum, and he's got more chance of that happening again. And yeah,
Yeah, and then more chance of reconciling when she comes out of prison because he'll be with someone that she's
she
related to,
knows.
or
Yeah, it's going to be much easier. So yeah, it's going to be interesting and challenging. But I am loving this.
Mm.
This is what I hoped Rue fostering would sort of entail, all this sort of family stuff.
Yes. Yeah.
Not burning teddy bears in a,
That was entertaining, though.
it was, but yeah, this is what I expected to happen,
Yeah. Right, Si, are you ready?
Am I ready for what?
For, I don't know, actually. Your say on the bay.
My say on the bay.
Not your say on the bay.
What?
But exactly, the people have spoken. They've been on social media. They've come out in droves this week and
Have they?
told us what they think about what's happening on Home and Away. So I've been reading comments. I've been looking at reactions online from people that have watched Home and Away in the UK this week. I've picked some and I'm going to read some out to you.
It's the consensus. Sorry to interrupt. That like everyone's enjoying. So there's coming out in the droves. Everyone's enjoying the stuff that's going on right now. Is that sort of?
I wouldn't
Oh,
say.
right, never mind.
I wouldn't say they were necessarily enjoying
Okay.
it. I'm just saying they've got opinions on it. Yes.
Okay.
You'll see what I
Right.
mean. You'll see what I mean.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Before I read them out, though, just a quick reminder to everyone listening that we are on social medias as well. If you're not following us, where have you been? We're Coastal News Podcast or at Coastal News Pod. We're on Facebook, Instagram, Threads, YouTube, Twitter, Blue Sky, you name it, we're there. We also tweet along live while we watch the show. So we watch at first look pace, which is 6:30 to 7 p.m. Monday to Friday. And we love talking to you guys while we're actually watching the show. So if you've got an ex-Twitter account, jump on the Home and Away UK hashtag. We'll be talking about the show on there. There's quite a few people on there every night. So jump on, have a chat with us. We've also got an Instagram channel, which a few people have been joining the discussion on there this week. It's brand new, so we're hoping that will pick up some pace soon. So if you're on Instagram and not on Twitter, you can join our channel. But if you're not on social medias at all, that's absolutely fine. Or if you're not around between 6:30 and 7 and you miss the tweet along, you can send us an email. And our email address is coastalnewspod@gmail.com, isn't it?
It is indeed.
It is. We have got an email.
We've got an email.
We have.
You have mail.
You have email from Emma. Hi, Emma. Nice to hear from you. Regular emailer. We love an email from Emma. So Emma says, "Hi guys, is Rue the worst?" I don't think I need to see the rest of the comment. I think yes, she is the worst.
Really?
There we go. Yeah, I do think she's pretty awful. But anyway, let's see what Emma has to say. Why is Rue the worst in Emma's eyes? Emma says, "How has she not been bothered that poor little Cohen is unwell and not just being sad about his mum? Also, the way Rue and Harper handled that, the fact that his mum doesn't want to see him is really bad. Surely the lad might want some counselling, not just have the cop that arrested his mum popping in every now and again." Now, I think this is before, because I think this was on Thursday when Emma sent this. I think this was before there was a chat, wasn't there, between Rue and Marilyn, where Rue actually said, "I'm actually worried about his mental state and maybe he needs to talk to someone." I think that was Friday's episode, wasn't it, that she said
that was a bit later in the week, wasn't it, when that happened on screen. Yeah.
And I have to say, I was shocked that she went there so quickly. She has learned from her Eliza experience that these kids, they can't just be, solved by a bit of pie and some chips. They do need
homework.
To have a chat with someone. Yeah.
I'm really enjoying Rue's improvement journey. I'm here for it, and I'm going to give her the benefit of the doubt, I think. Because I think she's grown from that horrendous experience with Psycho Eliza.
I think she is learning. I think she has learned and she is learning. I do think that she's still really bad at this.
But I think it's normal to make mistakes. I mean, I bet I'd be worse.
Oh, God, I would be. But then, it's not what I want to do. And it's not my calling. And it's...
Yeah.
I feel like that she should be doing
I take your point. Yeah.
I don't
more
know.
intuitive because she's
Or just
this is her choice. It's supposed to be her passion, isn't it?
yeah, or like I know she went to one conference, didn't she, when she was struggling with Eliza, and she went and spoke to a few foster carers. But I think that's where I would start. I would start with talking to people that have been doing this for a long time and asking opinions of people. And I think she's doing that a bit more with Cohen because she's going to David and Marilyn, and she's listening to other people this time rather than saying it's my kid and I'll deal with it and what have
Oh,
you.
I do love a conference, you know.
Do you?
Yeah, and you know when work sends you and you're in a hotel and
Oh
you've got to go
God.
down to the room and there's unlimited tea and coffee with those little Borders biscuits.
I've only ever
Oh
done a
yeah.
conference from the point of view of having to be a speaker, so I've hated them.
Oh well, yeah. Well, I've done that as well, but yeah, I do love a conference.
I don't like 200 people staring at me asking me questions.
You're on
There
a
we go.
round table with strangers you've been forced to mix with. Oh yeah.
Oh, the icebreakers. Tell us two
Yeah.
truths and a lie. No, piss off. Piss off. Yes. I don't enjoy that. I bet you do. I bet you enjoy that.
Yeah, I love it.
I
I
hate
absolutely
it.
love it.
I hate it. I'm like, I can only think of 3 lies. I'm going to tell you 3 lies. I'm not going to tell you any truth. Oh, dearie me. Yeah. Oh, anyway, back to Emma. Back to Emma. We do this. We've got
Sorry,
the
Emma.
attention span of a pair of goldfish. I'm sorry. So Emma's changing the subject now. She's going on to Jo and Tane, and she says, Jo and Tane, I think they will make a great couple. However, how does every woman who goes out with Tane have to basically stalk him first? This happened with Felicity, then Harper, now Jo. Interesting. I did say this
Yeah,
to
there is
somebody online this
yeah.
week.
I think I even cracked a joke on the main pod about him being used to a stalker.
Yeah, you did. Yeah. This is how his relationships start. They always start with the woman pursuing him.
He's the demigod, you see.
Well, she does say that. Emma goes on to say maybe the demigod should have a better storyline on getting his woman.
Do you know what? In other words, it's the same. His
Shit.
relationships all form the same way, don't they?
Yeah.
You know, it's everybody, drooling over him every time, isn't it?
He's never had to do the chasey chase, has he?
No, they flock her.
Yeah, interesting.
And
I'm glad other people are noticing this because I did have a conversation with somebody online this week about this, and I said I think Jo is more what I would call Tane's type based on Felicity.
Oh yeah.
Because
I think you said it to me as well.
I think I did, yes. I think Jo's very confident. She knows what she wants. She's gone after him. What Harper did was a little bit sneakier, a little bit more insecure, and a bit more naggy. It's not the same style, although it's the same approach in terms of all 3 women have pursued him. Harper's style of pursuing him has been different to Flick and Jo, and I think Flick and Jo have been quite similar.
Yeah.
I can kind of see.
I actually, when you said that, I can see that actually. And then obviously you think about sort of Flick's character, and that turned his head eventually. I think this does sort of mirror it in a similar way.
Yeah. Not completely, but there's little flashes there that make me go,
yeah. And I only saw them when you pointed them out, so that tells you how subtle it is. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, Harper was just a blatant, I'm going to decide to kickbox morning, noon and night.
Yeah. It wasn't
but
I'm
they
into
do
you.
seem to be like flies around crap.
They do. But Flick was very direct. Flick was like, I want you, I like you, and Jo's been the same. I'm into you.
Jo's done the same. Yeah, she's like, this is the cards on the table.
Yeah.
I'm upstairs with a drink. Come join me.
Whereas Harper's been like, oh, I'll come to the boxing sessions, and oh, I'll do this for you, and oh, I'll do that for you. And then they had this weird one night stand. She's not really been chasing him she's not slapped him around the face with the fact that she likes him at the beginning.
Yeah.
Whereas Flick and Jo have been, I like you, I want you,
Yeah.
I think that's similar. Yeah.
Yeah, I can see that. Yeah.
I can see it. Yeah, it's interesting that other people can, because we had a chat about it, and I had a chat with someone online, and obviously Emma's seen it as well. She's comparing the three ladies and the story, so that's interesting. Emma also talks about Irene. Says the Irene storyline. Oh my gosh, I'm already crying, and so was my husband, who only watches Home and Away part time. So it's pulled the
Really?
heartstrings of someone who's a
It's
casual
the
watcher.
moving. That's
Yeah.
interesting.
Yeah, I think it is one of
Very
those.
interesting.
I think you said recently that people that have not watched the show for a long time have been saying that they're going to tune back in because it's Irene.
I've seen a couple this week on the forums that I'm on saying I'm tuning in for Irene's exit.
Yeah, I think people that aren't necessarily avid watchers of the show like we are, they're getting drawn in again, aren't they? Like Emma's husband doesn't really watch the show, but was in, nearly crying. So...
The thing that Home and Away does really well. Look, we don't know if we're going to see Irene's death, do we?
No, hope not.
We spoke a bit about what an Alzheimer's diagnosis means on the main bit of the pod, but the one thing Home and Away can do really well is death and the emotion, the music, the direction, the cinematography. I think you can't help sometimes but just get swept up. And this is a character. This isn't a 2-bit guesty, that it's been in town for a few weeks and is quite disposable. I think a lot of us have grown up with this woman. And it's like, how do we go on past it? I cannot see anything past it at the minute, refusing to, because she's so crucial to my growing up, And that sounds really dramatic, but that's how the emotion is getting us so soon, I think.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. Yes, yeah, it's interesting to hear from people that aren't normally, big fans of the show getting affected.
And I won't like the Gary Barlow's helping. I'm not gonna lie.
You might have to explain that.
I don't think I will. I think I'll just leave that.
Yep, just leave. Gary Barlow's in the room right now. Okay.
And he's helping us get emotional.
He is. Well, helping you, definitely. Yes. I tell you what people have noticed this week, and we noticed as well because we had a little chat about this offline. Jo and Sarge have been added to the credits. The full credits are back. The full credits are back this week. We don't know why they went or what happened, but it seems to have been taken off and then put back on.
Were they on Friday as well?
Yes, they were. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, they were.
Thank God.
Someone tweeted on Friday that they were back. I think they'd missed Thursday's episode or something. I can't remember. So Jo and Sarge have been added to the credits, but what do people make of Jo and Sarge now that we've seen them a bit more? They've been on screen a bit more. They've had a bit more screen time.
They're on the credits, so they're staying. I mean, I love the fact that we've got credits again to dissect that, to be honest.
Yes. So what do people think? So we've got a comment from Sam on Twitter who says, I don't trust how overprotective David is being with Jo. Something is definitely off. Although I did feel sorry for her when she was about to tell Tane that the complicated doesn't matter. So got a bit of more of a warm feeling towards Jo, but we don't trust how David is so protective.
Something's up with this accident, Sophie. What is it?
Yeah. And I wish we'd go back to it.
I know. Are they in cahoots? Jo's just had a load of flashbacks and had nothing for a week and a half.
Yeah.
What's going on here? We want to know, don't we?
I've got to be honest, that's the storyline that interests me more than the Mac and Levi stuff or the Harper and Tane stuff. I want to know more about Lacey and Jo, this accident, what Sarge's involvement was. Yeah, this is...
You mean you're not interested in Levi firing blanks?
Not really, doll, no. No, I mean, we said weeks ago it's probably him. So it's took him a bloody long... Did. As a doctor, it's took him a bloody long time to think, oh, maybe it's me, doll. Maybe I'm the reason why.
Well, you have to assume it's the woman first.
Yeah, well, yes. Can't be me. Can't be me. Nina.
Sperm everywhere. Sorry, go on.
I'm surprised he managed to get one out of the tank. But there we go. And I think Mac has had a good old job. Anyway,
And I mounted him in the middle of the night.
I know, she's on him constantly, poor guy. In fact, can we just mention the fact that he was doing his flies up, coming out the bedroom when Tane turned up with the baby, and then he immediately held the baby, and I thought, wash your bloody hands!
I didn't hate it.
Well, no, but he's touching the baby with his penis hands.
Well, there's only one way to get immunity. Anyway. Exposure therapy.
I'm glad you don't have kids, mate. Oh dear. you'd be having them chicken pox parties, wouldn't you?
Yeah.
Everyone come
My
round and
kids.
catch the pox.
My kids would be sent to Roo.
I just imagine you having a pox party. Oh, dearie me. Anyway, I'm only kidding. Nina has got strong opinions on Joe. Do you want to hear what Nina thinks? Nina says, really, really not liking Joe at the moment. She was too flirty and full on with Tane, and then really off and abrupt with Cash. Yeah, she was pretty rude to Cash, actually.
Yeah, she was. Yeah. Everyone, have you noticed everyone is sort of in conflict in Summer Bay, though? No one really talks to each other unless there's some ag.
That's true, yeah. Yeah, there's a lot of tension, isn't there, in the air?
Especially at the minute.
Is it a bit too hot? I get a bit angry when I've been a bit angry this week.
Yeah, it's the heat.
Hot.
Maybe it's the,
It's too hot, doll.
Humidity's killing them, doll.
Could be that. Mr. David says, Joe there acting like she hasn't seen a man in 25 years.
True. It's very true.
It was a little bit. Watching the boot camp salivating over him was a bit much, wasn't it? I think.
I don't know what I think of this Joe.
I don't know how I feel about her. I don't have a strong opinion either way yet. I'm sus of her, but I'm more interested in the accident than I am in her pursuing Tane.
Yeah, same.
Yeah.
I want to know that side of it. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
And whether she was driving and mother wasn't, and
exactly.
whether Sarge is involved.
Has Dad done something? Has Dad covered it up? Was Dad the one that caused the accident? He thought Mum was driving and not.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? There's so many questions.
Of course there is.
Because he doesn't seem to miss Mum that much, I'll be honest.
The longer it goes on as well, the more I am thinking Lacey might be right.
Yeah. I don't know. I honestly can't put a guess on it at the moment.
But I won't elaborate because this isn't my say and I've given you enough.
Julie says, oh, this is cringy from Joe. Tane is not interested as far as I can see, and it's no wonder the way that Joe treated him when she arrived. Yeah.
Do we think Tane's not interested? I think Tane's interested in anything that
I think this was before he met her in the salt scene. I think it's before that. When he was like, a drink, I don't know.
He's only interested when he's facing jail.
That's true. That's how to get him. Lock him in the gym and tell him he's going to court. Yeah. Je ne sais quoi on Twitter says,
Je ne sais quoi?
I don't like Lacey's sister. Not even calling her by her name. Not even saying Joe, Lacey's sister. I don't like Lacey's sister. Yeah.
Oh, God.
Yeah. There's definitely opinions. I've not seen anybody saying they really like Joe yet, but then...
Also, it's quite neggy.
I don't know whether we're supposed to like her yet. I don't know whether...
Yeah. They've not given us enough, have they?
Not really. I felt for her when Dana was being a bitch. I felt for her. But then, since then, she's not really been... I've not felt either way, you know? Not yet.
Yeah.
Not yet. We mentioned earlier about the board shop and the financial palaver that's going on there.
Oh, God, yeah.
Nobody's got a bloody clue what's going on with this. So the next section is what the chuff is going on with the board shop. Because that's literally what I tweeted this week. I was like, I don't understand why the board shop is suddenly bankrupt. Is it the surf lessons? Were they the steady income? Now there's no surf lessons. There's no money. And what's going on? So people have been tweeting. So Sarah 30th Floor on Twitter says, has Marley done a runner because he knew? Has he done a runner because he
Is he
knew that it was bankrupt?
burying his head in the sand?
Don't know. Interesting thought, though, isn't it? Because I do think his exit was pretty bloody sharp.
Yeah.
He was at a barbecue, and the next minute he's gone for 2 weeks, and he's left all this business in charge of somebody that's been there 5 minutes. She's got access to the bank accounts, which is something
Yeah, it's
that
ridiculous.
Julie on Twitter says, I wouldn't let a new employee have access to my bank account.
No, of course you wouldn't. You wouldn't even put them on the bloody till, Dal.
No, exactly.
They'd be
And
on stock replenishment.
lots of people are saying the same thing. So Nina's saying, has Lacey got her fingers in the till?
I thought the same, I must say.
Yeah. Nobody really
And she's
understands.
she's out on her ear, isn't she? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
She's been desperate for this job.
Mm.
She's, she's not impartial to a bit of wrong. She's been with the River Boys and whatnot. Do we trust her?
I don't know. I think people are just confused about what the storyline is meant to be. So Sarah on 30th Floor also says, is this a random direct debit scam? Can they be more clear in the storylines? And Emma Gravy Monster says, yeah, I think it is going to be a scam. Now, I didn't think this until I read these tweets. I didn't think it was a scam. I thought it was Marley's a crap businessman. He's stopped the surplus and stopped the only income, and lo and behold, it doesn't pay the bills. I thought it was that, but people are saying, is Lacey stealing money? Is there a direct debit scam? Has the cash been drained out the bank account? What's going on? So
that's interesting. Like if the email is a scam email, but she's inadvertently took it as gospel and ended up sending whatever phishing scam or something.
Yeah. Don't know. So nobody really understands the storyline is what I'm taking from this.
All the sums, the numbers don't stack up, do they?
No, but Nina did say on Twitter, the Abby and Lacey, the fact that they've come together, she's praising the fact that this storyline has forced these two together. She's saying they make a great team, and the writers could have gone one of two ways with this, and they made the correct choice.
Oh,
which I agree with, nice. Because they could have made this a girl versus girl angry storyline, and everybody's doing that at the moment. Everybody's, like you said, angry at each other, and they could have easily gone down that route, but actually they've put their heads together to come up with a solution, haven't they, to try and fix this problem. And that's Nina's saying that's that was the
positive message.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah,
I tell you what, literally everybody and his dog has been saying this week online is how amazing the Australian Health Service is. It's impeccable.
Oh, bloody hell. You're telling me.
Everyone's saying, where's the GPs? Are there no GPs in the bay? How can you possibly walk into the hospital, get seen straight away? How can you call the doctor on her personal mobile and get in, a CT scan and a lumbar puncture and the results within a few hours? And then Cohen with his tonsillitis, he's had blood tests done. Who else has been in hospital recently?
Maybe we're just used to a lower rate of service here, and our expectations are much lower.
I think this is even better than Bupa Healthcare, though. This service, you can't pay for this doll.
The only person getting better healthcare than this is King Bloody Charles.
That's true.
Tell you.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I think they've got the same insurance plan. So, talking of all the hospital stuff anyway, let's talk about Irene. So, Julie on Facebook said, this will be heartbreaking for Irene. She gets the news that she doesn't want to hear. She's just getting back to normal now. She gets more bad news, sad news, and it's such a shame for her to have to suffer all over again. Yeah. And she says she's had enough sadness in her life. She should have a happy ending. She's written happy ever happy. That's knocked me for 6 there. Not more heartbreak.
Yeah. I would agree with that. After everything, she deserves a bit of happiness.
She does. Yeah. Lots of people saying they're struggling with the pace of the storyline, and lots of people actually sharing personal stories about relatives that have got dementia or Alzheimer's, and the first signs being that they were asking lots of questions and repeating the same questions, and forgetting that they've been told the answer to them. And, it wasn't getting to the point of what we're seeing with Irene on screen until much, much later. So a lot of people have been. I won't read out some of the personal comments and stuff because I don't feel right saying it and putting names to them and stuff. But lots of people sharing, their own personal experience with dementia and Alzheimer's with their loved ones, and saying this is really rapid. It's gone much quicker than what's happened in my case.
It's interesting. It's interesting, isn't it? And also sort of brings home, as much as indulgent as these shows get, and as heightened as they get, and what have you, they, at the heart of soaps is realism, it's relatability, and it's showing you stuff that people go through.
Yes.
Or a version of, let's say.
Yeah.
Even if it is sort of skewed and sped up and whatnot. And that's why soaps were and are so popular.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, definitely. There's been a conversation on our Insta channel this week as well between friend of the pod Tamsin from Poplar's the Tam Tam podcast and Sam, who's a regular tweeter, but he's been on our Insta channel as well this week. So Tamsin said, "I don't like where this is going for Irene. I agree with you and Sophie. This is all happening really fast." And Sam says, "My partner was a deputy manager of a care for Alzheimer's and dementia sufferers." And she said that in some cases it can take hold this quick. There may be very, very slight signs that only an absolute specialist may notice, but your average galah, it would seem to be very quick.
Interesting, because I think there is a bit of a thing of Irene, like we were talking a couple of weeks back when it was starting, we were like, has there maybe been things at home that we've not seen, or, you start second guessing some things, don't you? But in a real life situation, some of those cues you'll miss. Because it is normal. Bree said herself, it's normal to forget to turn the iron off.
Yeah,
we've all done it.
We all do it, especially when you're stressed. And
none of us would jump to, dementia.
And she's a lady of a certain age. She's got a history of alcohol. She's got a newborn in the house. She's still working at her age, and she's under a lot of stress from that point of view. So to just forget a few things, you wouldn't automatically go, "Yeah, she's got dementia," would you? Or she's got Alzheimer's?
No. You just think, are you tired?
Yeah,
that'd be my first thought.
It's actually quite scary.
Yeah. So that's a really poignant message that Sam has put on the channel there, because actually it might feel fast, but the signs might have been there for a while.
Yeah, and Sam says that from his partner's point of view, who was the deputy manager of care home for Alzheimer's and dementia sufferers, she's saying it's been handled really well, the storyline. So to hear someone
that's interesting
that's worked in that field, because I've got absolutely no idea, I've got no experience of it. So to hear that from someone else, like you say, to us it seems really fast, but actually I think Home and Away does have some decent sort of research and people that on the crew and that will research the medical stuff really well.
Yeah.
Because the amount of stuff on the show that has been medical with Levi and Bree and everyone else and Tori in the past, the amount of medical knowledge and medical stuff that's on the show, they would have to research that to make sure it was accurate, wouldn't they? So
yeah.
It's kind of it makes you feel better when someone says, "Oh yeah, it's not fast. It does happen like this sometimes," and you think, "Okay, it's not over dramatized for the point. It's actually they've looked into this, and this is how it can happen sometimes.
It can. It is possible. Yeah.
Yes. Let's change the subject. Let's talk about Avalon, Remy and Bree and the triangle of what is it? Is it a triangle of love? I don't know.
Go your heart. Go your head. Sorry.
Don't Babylon. Actually, do you know what? Talking of that, there's been a new name. So Avalon, over the last few weeks, people will know if we've been listening to the podcast for the last few weeks. Avalon's been called Babylon. She's been called the Kraken. She's been called Anaconda. We've had different names for her. We've got a new name for her this week from Facebook.
Oh, God.
Are you ready for this? Tom, top fan of the Home and Away UK page on Facebook, says, get rid of Savalon. She's a troublemaker.
Isn't that like
It's a cream,
an
isn't
antiseptic cream?
Yeah. Savalon. Yes. Yeah.
Hilarious.
Nobody likes this girl. It's so funny, but she's got so many nicknames. It's quite funny. So there's been some conversations about Avalon on the Home and Away UK page, because I think they shared a video or some pictures of the morning after scene and the fallout from that with Bree. So lots of people have been commenting on those. So Lynn on Facebook says, it was obvious from the start she wanted to pluck more than his guitar strings. Lynn! Don't know what you mean, Joel. Don't know what you mean.
No.
Bavna says, I've said it before and I'll say it again, Remy belongs in the bin, and there's a bin emoji. Yeah, not mincing your words there.
Yeah,
Bavna.
I think I started there with Remy, didn't I? Got convinced, and now he's proved me right. I'm kind of with them with that.
Yeah. Carol,
I won't be falling for it again, Remy.
You've been warned. Carol on Facebook says, Avalon knew what she was doing. She planned this all along.
Do you believe that?
I don't know. I do just think she likes a bit of drama, and she doesn't really care about the consequences, because she doesn't have to deal with them.
I don't know, and I don't care really.
It's one of them.
Yeah.
And I don't really care that him and Bree have split up, I'll be honest, but I do think that it's a bit shit on Bree. I feel bad for her, but don't take him. Yeah. Don't take him back. Kaylee on Facebook says, I absolutely hate what they turned Remy into after everything him and Bree went through. I get they had to make an exit for Bree because I think she might be going, but why couldn't she just discover the drugs and break up with him? Why did he have to be a cheater? This sucks. Yeah. Yes. Why? There are rumours online about whether Bree is on her way out following this breakup, you know?
Yeah, understandable. You and I have speculated ourselves.
Because what did they do with her now? What did they do with her?
And is this breakup for that reason? You know?
But Kaylee's pissed off. She's saying the drugs would have been enough to split them up. He didn't have to cheat on her.
I agree with that. And then he could have. And then, do you know what? It means he's learnt something along the way. Because if this isn't the first time a woman's turned his head, that one that was on the bike that he knew.
Oh,
what was she called?
Mercedes.
That was it.
He did shot her down though, didn't he? He shot that one down.
He did, but like his whole persona, especially early on when he joined the show, was about him being a bit of a womanizer. He's a man about town. He's in a different town every night. Musician. He's not going to be tied down.
Yeah.
And Bree was supposed to be the one that locked him in.
Yeah, true. Mr. David's got some thoughts about Remy, which I found quite amusing this week. So I'll read them out. Mr. David says, Universe, you've given Remy good looks, millions in the bank, a gorgeous girlfriend, and loyal friends. Unfair. Can't he get worms or something? Maybe that'll be the next thing. That's his next lesson. He gets worms. Or maybe he gets the clap. Could he get the clap from Avalon?
I'll send him an invite to my chickenpox party.
I bet he wasn't safe. You know what I mean? I bet he's got something.
Yeah, well, that's... Let's not go there.
The clap, I'm thinking. Anyway. Sam says, Jesus, the Kraken. I love how this is catching on. I think it was Julie that came up with the Kraken. The Kraken has got some balls. No. She's got the nerve to show up at the house and ask Sunny and Eden for help, then looks annoyed when they say no. She's a proper C-bomb.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yes. Yes. Joanne on Facebook's got an interesting theory. Joanne says, I think Bree and Levi will have an affair next.
Oh?
Yeah.
Oh?
I didn't see that coming.
I don't see Levi doing it to Mac, to be honest.
Well, if he gets fed up with her crying over the ovulation sticks every day.
Well, yeah, and maybe, if he's firing blanks,
yeah.
Mac don't want him.
Or she's angry at him because she's not going to get what she wants. I don't know. We're totally riffing off something that might not have ever happened.
I know. We've literally gone way out there, way out there now. Like, we're in the bush now, making it up.
But Joanne thinks it's possible, so you never know. You never know. Yes. Margaret's got an opinion about Eden, so I'll read this one out as we're talking about Bree and Avalon and Remy and all this mess. Margaret says on Facebook, Eden should butt out. She's the worst person to give advice to anyone with a holier-than-thou judgment on all her own family members, who then she reconsiders that are okay after all. Remy is just one of those typical weak men who follow their impulses. Otherwise, he would have been married by now. His ego needed stroking, and he went for it. Bree could do a lot better than him. Actually, she's trashed everybody, not just Eden. She's trashed everybody in that one. But yeah, Eden. So somebody went back to Margaret, someone called Ashley on Facebook, and said, Eden's problem is she acts like everyone has cheated on her. That's interesting, isn't it? Like more damage has been done to her than the woman who was actually cheated on.
Yeah, she takes it very personally, doesn't she?
Yeah. She's more pissed off about herself being betrayed. Like her dad, I think, is where this is, coming from. Yeah, interesting. And I think that's about it. I just had one more comment which I thought was interesting, and it stood out to me because it was a standalone comment, and I thought this will be interesting to see if anybody else has any thoughts on this or if this comment comes up next week. Because it's come out of Friday's episode or Thursday's episode where Mac is still kind of obsessing over getting pregnant, and she's, she said to Levi, I know I said I wasn't going to do the test yet because it's too early, but I couldn't help it, and la la la. And Sarah 30th Floor tweeted saying, Mac is slowly becoming one of my least favourite people.
Oh.
And I thought that's interesting that the storyline really can make or break your thoughts on a character.
Of course it can. And Mac's really popular.
Really popular, yeah. But to become one of my least favourite people when there are people like Rue on the cast. I thought that really stood out.
Comes to Samming.
Yeah. It does. So I'd be interested to hear if anybody else out there is starting to feel like the tide is turning with Mac. This storyline with the baby, trying for a baby, maybe that's making you feel differently about her character. It just stood out to me as a comment because I hadn't seen anybody else sort of come to this conclusion.
Interesting. Yeah.
So yeah, keep us posted. Let us know your thoughts on that one because it's the only one I've seen online about Mac where someone's got to the point of being fed up. But thanks everybody. Thank you for everybody's input. Thanks for joining the tweet along. Without you, there would be no Your Say on the Bay.
Please take the time to like, subscribe, and review Coastal News wherever you source your podcasts, and ensure you never miss an episode.